Hello, happy Monday. I'm happy to be back with you. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you are doing well. Did you have anything positive happen since the last time we talked? I did a bunch of positive things, and as I was doing some of them and reflecting, I was like, what will I talk about in episode number 11 on Love is Your Medicine podcast? And then I was like, wait a minute. And yes, it's a play on words, the word wait, not W-A-I-T, but W-E-I-G-H-T. Wait. We're going to get into it in episode number 11. I am glad you are here. All right, so here we go. Let's get right into it. My name is Mitch. My podcast name, Love is Your Medicine. And if this is your first time listening, I chose Love is Your Medicine because I feel that we have to love ourselves and respect ourselves and deem ourselves worthy enough so that we can take proper care of ourselves, not only physically and mentally, but emotionally as well. And I also feel if we love ourselves and we respect ourselves, then those around us, whether our significant other, our spouse, parents, children, they will love and respect us as well. So that is what this podcast is all about. Love is your medicine. And in episode 11, like I said in the intro, I decided to call this one Wait a Minute. But the spelling W-E-I-G-H-T, meaning weight, size, pounds, or if you're in a place that uses the metric system, what would you say? Kilometers, whatever. I don't know. I think that's the weight term that they use in the metric system, because I do have listeners in the UK and Germany and Belgium. I think they use the metric system. So that's what I am referring to. Weight, whether we like it or not, has a huge impact on our society, no matter where we live. In some societies, the heavier you are, or the extra pounds that you have, may be looked at in a negative way. Then you have other cultures or society where more pounds or weight is like a status symbol. It means you are well off. You're looked at differently. So depending on where we live, weight can have a direct impact on our lives, how we feel about ourselves, how we view ourselves, what others think when they see you. And all of that, it weighs heavy upon us. I've shared in previous episodes, I've just been a stockier, bigger frame guy for most of my life. It started in elementary school. A lot most definitely would have to do with habits, especially the older I got. Eating habits, consumption of alcohol habits, it has a direct effect. But then there are those of us we might have weight issues that are out of our control too. I know some women, like my wife Michelle, for example, and I never heard about this until I met her, and the more we got to know each other. But she has a condition called PCOS, and it causes a bunch of things to happen to the female body. Some women get, they may get all of the effects of it. Some get other effects of PCOS that other women might not get. You can get hair loss. They can get, the hormones are kind of out of whack, so they may get facial hair. But a big side effect of PCOS is weight gain and or weight retention. So no matter what my wife tried to do, she couldn't lose weight. And it affected her lifestyle. It affected what she thought about herself. And, it was painful to watch. But very quickly on that, 2 years ago, she did undergo weight loss surgery, RNY. And like, she is doing phenomenal on it. She's lost like over 200 pounds. You can catch her on her social medias is Radiant New You. A quick plug for her. But, it was painful and sad to watch, how she felt about herself, things she could and couldn't do with the family. So I know firsthand from dealing with my experiences, seeing Michelle, that weight, it has a huge effect on us, how we feel about ourselves. And just knowing that, whatever the cause is of a person's weight, where they're at, just knowing everything as an adult, it can be self-induced, or it could be things out of their hand. It changed my outlook on it. And the thing about this too, I know, because, when we talk about weight problems, automatically we think overweight. Interestingly, to me, and like I always say, knowledge is power. I didn't think about the other side of the coin. Like, I know a young man and I know someone else, they are extremely thin. And it bothers them about their weight. They feel self-conscious. They wish they could gain weight, but they can't. The young gentleman, his metabolism is just off the charts. And like, he can eat like a burger every day, sometimes 2 burgers. He can go through a whole pizza and, just thin. And so he opened my eyes up to, it's not only people that are overweight, but people that may be under the ideal weight, that the doctors have with these charts with your height and weight, how with the height, how much you should weigh and everything, which is totally off to me, because every individual is different and has different circumstances, different bodies. So yeah, but yeah, he feels real self-conscious about his weight, that he can't gain weight, and it hurts him just like it hurts an overweight person. It hurts him when people say mean or rude things or offhand comments, which is sad. So this episode is for everyone, no matter where you are on the weight spectrum. And so it's the subject of weight has always been a sensitive subject for me. And not only because I've, been overweight most of my life, but because I was hurt emotionally at a young age when people would mention my weight. Now, this kids at school, I'm used to that, and they, kids heckle each other and pick fun, some of it too far, yeah. But, that was kind of expected. I went to school in a different period, and I'm sure most of y'all can relate, but at least where I was in Chicago, the teachers back then, and I'm talking like 1977, 1978, 1979, teachers said different things than they do now. They express themselves differently. They acted differently. They would just put kids down, whether it was about their weight, their size, the clothes they wore. And so when they would say things about my weight, it bothered me a lot emotionally. I kept it bottled up most of the time. Every once in a while I would mention it to my mom, but I knew if I told her the full story, she would go up to my school and go ballistic. So I kept most of it to myself. But I knew how much it hurt me. So I never really wanted to bother anyone else about their weight. And then the other thing that hurt me emotionally too is like you have close friends or relatives, people who I really looked up to, some of them, and they would say things and, try to make jokes about my weight and my size. And, I know the pain I felt. So growing up, I never wanted to cause anyone else pain like that. If I'm horsing around with my friends and we're going back and forth, growing up, I didn't bring up weight. I chose something else to joke about, but I just knew how I felt. So I never wanted to inflict anyone else with that pain. Because here's the deal, and this is what I always tell Michelle, it's like everyone wake up and we look in the mirror. We know what size we are. Like when we buy clothes, when we put our clothes on, we know what size clothes they are. We don't need anyone else telling us that, what size we are. We as individuals don't need to be telling people what size they are, especially in a judging manner. I've worked with people, and sometimes it'll, might be a woman carry her weight differently or in a certain area of her body. And I've heard women have the audacity to ask them, "Oh, are you expecting?" In other words, are you pregnant? Like, what a horrible thing to ask, just based on somebody's size or their outward appearance. It's just sad, really, what people do, and people are quick to judge. If you are overweight, people, and this is just being real, okay? People judge you because when they see someone overweight, they think lazy. They think you're not going to do much. You have no initiative. I was on a job, and it was a pretty physical job. And they told me the reason some there didn't think I would cut it because of the physical work. And one of the guys was just like, "Yeah, we just saw you a bigger dude." We were just like, this work too physical. He won't last. And we were impressed that you made it this far. Now in his head, he thought he was being cool and like everything was good. But I took offense to that, because how dare someone judge another person on the outward appearance? You mean to tell me just because somebody is heavier set or bigger that they all have no initiative? They all have no drive in life. They're all lazy. It's just stupidity. And it really got on my nerves. And yeah, I just never mention anyone's weight. The only reason I talk about weight with someone is if they bring it up. If they ask me something about myself or what I'm doing, they ask advice. I never ever mention someone's weight to them. I also never ever put my hands on someone because, one, first off, that's offensive to get in somebody's personal space. But, I hate when people talk to me and they put their hand on my stomach or make a comment about my stomach or my weight. Inside, I want to punch them dead in the nose, but, I can't because I have so many other things going on in my life that I can't bring negativity into my life like that. But just know in my head, if you touch my stomach, in my head, I'm punching you dead in the nose. That's what's going on in my head. Like, how dare you touch someone else's space? And yeah, that would bother me too, growing up and as an adult. Someone touching my stomach and then having the audacity to make a joke. And if it sounds like in this episode, because usually I'm pretty mellow, laid back, but if you detect a little bit of anger or I'm upset, yeah, I am. Because bothering someone about their weight is that's like a hot button for me. So I'm here to tell you, if you have issues or problems with your weight, whether you're overweight or underweight, first, you're not alone. Millions go through what you go through. And I'm not going to sit here and lay out nutritional goals or you should be doing this or you should be doing that. Nah, we all kind of know that or can figure that out, get the help we need for that. I'm here to say you're not alone emotionally. I know what it's like to be depressed about your weight. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and wish I looked different. And I used to have very low self-esteem growing up. And you know what? Having low self-esteem causes you to make poor decisions in some aspects of your life. Low self-esteem, it makes you do things that you might not ordinarily do for whatever reason. A huge, reason, another huge reason why I wanted this podcast to help as many as I can, even if it's just one person, to realize that there's someone out there that understands, emotionally. I know what it is to lose weight and then plateau and then start gaining again. Might even have gotten new clothes that are smaller. And I know what it is to put those on and can't fit anymore. It's frustrating. It angers you. We go through enough alone, mentally and emotionally. So we don't want to project that onto someone else and, be the cause of someone hurting emotionally or mentally by the words we choose to say. If you can't be kind, just, don't say something, especially online. Now, I'm talking a lot of verbal, but we're in a new age now. We're in the age of online social media bullies. And that's just, that's what it is. I see people bullying other people. I tell Michelle, I call them keyboard warriors because social media has emboldened a lot of people. You have people that say things to other people, hurtful, hateful things, that they know good and well if they were face to face with any of these people, they wouldn't dare say what they say. But social media makes people bold. And so they say very, very hurtful things online. So be careful how much time you spend on social media or where you spend it, because you see a lot of hateful, stupid speech on social media. So don't feed into it. Most of these people are hurting themselves. They are insecure. They're lost. And so they're projecting their sorriness onto other people. Anyone who gets in their way, they're projecting their own self-hate. So, if you need to limit the time you are on social media, because the majority of people on there are just idiots. I'm just, I'm keeping it real. Uncle Mitch going to be real this episode. So, if you have said something to someone about their weight, just, it is what it is. Try to be better. Like I said, we all know the size we are. If someone asks you something or wants advice, that's one thing. And even then, be tactful, be respectful. Don't be a bully with words. We all have something that we are personally dealing with or going through. Remember that when you're so quick to judge, especially by outward appearance or weight, size, just think about all the things you go through silently that no one knows about. Then after you do that, think about how you would feel if someone came at you the wrong way about whatever you're dealing with, whatever pains you silently. You have to put yourself in the shoes of others. You have to have empathy. I know people that, they have a disease or a condition where they're going to gain weight, or they take medication that makes them gain weight. So you mean to tell me you're just going to say this person is lazy? This person has no initiative? Stupidity. I've been on airplanes where someone will quite vocally say that they don't want to sit by someone bigger or overweight. Or some are just so rude and ignorant, they just say, I don't want a fat person sitting next to me. Think about how stupid that sounds. Is that the kind of person you want to be? Is that the kind of person you want to be known as? And then the other side of the coin, in the technology age we live in, we have a lot of people that are quick to record when you're in public, especially bad behavior. I've seen where people say horrible things about a person, whether it's about race or size or weight. They're recorded, they're posted, and then someone was like, hey, this person works for such and such company. I've seen people get fired for it. So is it worth it? Is your opinion, is your wanting to hurt someone, make them feel bad, so important that you're willing to risk even employment, risk your reputation? Think about things like that before you say stupid things to other people. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So getting back to the respect and self-worth, I was no chubby kid and overweight growing up. But my mom, she loved me and my two siblings, and she cared for us the best she could, especially mentally and emotionally. And her and my father did, but my mom would really because she was a stay-at-home mom, so she was there making us breakfast and getting us ready for school and talking to us about the day. And she would offer me real good advice, like just upfront, honest advice, and she just told me the truth. And so she was like, "You're a bigger person," and she was like, "Sad to say, people are gonna say things. So I want you to always be clean. I want you to always be neat." She was like, "If someone smells something, who do you think they're going to look at first? They're going to look at the bigger person or someone who's overweight first." I didn't quite understand everything she was telling me when I was young. I mean, I knew what she was saying, but the older I got, I really, really got to see, what she meant, what a sad society we live in. And so, her advice about that, just always be neat, always be clean. A person can be those two things no matter what size they are, she would tell me. And so that's how I grew up. And I even had people tell me that, I don't know what goes through people's mind, why they say some of the things they say, but somebody told me too. And more than once, to be a big man, overweight, you sure do dress nice. You sure do stay neat and clean. And I'm just looking at them because in my head, isn't that what we as a society, what we're supposed to do? Be neat, clean, the way we carry ourselves, no matter what weight or size we are. There's some people in this world are sad, but if you are going through an emotionally hard time because of your weight, I feel for you. I'm right there with you. Every day presents its own unique challenges, so I get it. I'm most of the subjects I talk about on here, I'm not just sitting up here just rambling and talking to you and preaching to you. I'm talking from real life experience. I know what it is to feel low about weight. I used to hate when I was in PE. I dreaded going in that locker room to change clothes in front of all the guys because I didn't want anyone to see my body. So, that helped create that low self-esteem and that low self-worth. And I carried that into my young adult years. And like I said, it hurt me because, it affects how you act. It affects what you say. It affects what you think. It affects decisions you make. Some things in everyday life. It's tough having that low self-esteem. And so I would say I was about, how old? It wasn't until I was 34. And my aunt really, we had a talk. We went out dancing and drinking, and, she and I, we could talk real openly and just keep it real. And she asked me why would I act a certain way, especially if someone was meeting me. She was introducing me to people, and she said, you act totally different than when it's just us or when you're around family. She said you get this shyness and you barely talk. And she was like, do you know you're handsome? And I'm like, what? And she was like, do you think you're handsome? And I was like, not really, I guess I'm okay. And she's like, why do you think that? Is it because of your size? And I was like, yeah, like, that's pretty much it. My size. And yeah, she like let me have it. She was very, very real that night. And she just told me she know the type of man I am. Funny, outgoing, caring, a hard worker. She was like, don't you ever let weight hold you back from being who you are around other people. She said to me, like, it's like you kind of still act like a young boy when you just meet someone. And at that time, I was still going by my middle name because I'm a junior. So that's how people, distinguish whether they were talking to my father or myself. They would call him Mitchell, and I was Wayne. So she told me, and remember, this is like when I'm 34, so this is like 2004. She was like, from now on, you're not known as Wayne. I was like, oh, really? What am I known as? And she was like, from now on, you go by Mitch. She was like, Mitch is your adult name. And Mitch is going to have confidence. Mitch is going to know he's handsome. And everybody going to know who Mitch is. And I took her advice. And from that point on, I was Mitch. And just a totally different outlook on life. Little did she know she was kind of creating a monster. But that'll be for future episodes. But yeah, I've been going by Mitch since 2004. Even the friends that I have in Chicago and Houston and Atlanta, they'll see me on social media and they're like, who is like this Mitch? You Wayne. And I just laugh it off. But yeah, I got this newfound confidence, and it took her to wake me up, to get me out of my own head, to realize who the heck I was. And so I'm hoping that I can do that for you. If you're out there struggling with who you are, and it's based off of mostly your weight or your size, this is your wake-up call, like my aunt woke me up, mentally and emotionally. You are so much more than just your weight. You are so much more than just your size. Like, you are worth a lot. You bring a lot to the table. You have to believe that about yourself. Think about the accomplishments you've made, how far you've come in life. That happened because of you. That happened because of your effort and your hard work. It didn't happen because of what size you are. It's ludicrous that we think like that, but that is our society. That's how we have been trained to think. It's been ingrained in us from a young age, from television to radio to the advertisements we see. It's ingrained in us that we have to be a certain size to be something or to be somewhere in life. Totally false. So this episode is my wake-up call to you to just, if you are struggling with size and low self-esteem, this episode is your wake-up call that things are going to change. It's time to get a new mindset. It's time to have a new outlook on life. Because I think back, and before 2004, I was not happy. And that caused issues in my personal life. It caused issues at work. It caused issues at home in my marriage. I was not happy with myself. Totally different 2004 and beyond, because I found this newfound confidence. I found this newfound love for myself. And that wasn't an easy road, because once I did, I just, like I said, that's for a future episode. But I think now, at this age I am now, I'm a well-rounded person, so that I can deal with a lot more than I could in my 30s. You see, when you've lived kind of a quiet, sheltered life, and then you get this newfound confidence, it can do things like the opposite end of the spectrum to your head. So, proceed with caution. When you get this newfound confidence, don't let it get to your head. Don't go crazy. Keep your ethics, keep your morals. Stand for what you've always believed in. Don't become a new person in a bad way, but become a new person in a positive way. So, yeah, it's something sad with this world, with this society, how they can make a person feel. And it's just, it isn't limited to just us or people we know. The issues in size, you see it in Hollywood. You see it in different careers. You see it in modeling. Sad, I was so happy. I can't think of her name right now. Oh, goodness. I see her pictures. Is it Heather? But a model. And, she's heavier set, beautiful woman. And she kills it in modeling. I love stuff like that, where we don't let size or weight hold us back. We are beautiful people. We are beautiful individuals with so much to offer to this world. If someone has an issue with it, your weight or your size, that's a them issue. Stay focused, stay true to yourself. Now, I will say, I'm not saying, if we are unhealthy, and this can be whether you're overweight or underweight. If you're unhealthy, then we have to do things to fix that. See, I was so overweight in 2009, and I went to the doctor and got the lab results back, and I was so bad off that the doctor just had to have a true heart-to-heart with me. And he was like, do you want to see your daughter graduate? Because she was like a year old. And I'm like, of course I do. And he was like, well, you seriously need to make some changes in your life if you want to see her graduate one day. Because the way you're going now and the lab results I have back, it's just bad. So if you are unhealthy at whatever size you are, now I urge you to do what you can to get that under control. I had high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, silent killers. And high blood pressure and diabetes is just, it runs in African Americans. Sadly, it's just high. Sadly, it goes unchecked. So, no matter what size you are, stay as healthy as you can. Go to the doctor regularly. Get the lab work done so the doctor can see where you are, what you need to work on, what you need to fix, what you need to address. So, yeah, I'm not in no way condoning just be happy whatever size you are and live however you want. I'm saying be as healthy as you can, and size doesn't dictate how healthy you are. So, do what you can to be healthy. Don't focus negatively on weight or your size. Be happy with who you are. Like I said a few minutes ago, you bring a lot to the table. Whether you realize it or not, you do. You are somebody. You have a voice. Don't hide your identity or your voice behind weight or size. And don't be one of those people either. I know, like heavier set people that go to the extreme, saying they don't care. They're just going to be loud and boisterous as they can. They don't care. They don't care what people think about them. Most of the people I knew who said that, they cared. Deep down, they cared. Just like I'm saying, you don't have to isolate yourself or have low self-esteem or low self-worth. Don't go to the other side of the spectrum and just be obnoxious. And, I'm just going to be loud and crazy because I don't care. I don't care how big I am. I don't care what people think. Like, don't be that person either. That's not a good look. Just continue to be who you truly are. If you have an outgoing personality, fine. I'm just saying don't overdo it because people use that as a crutch or trying to hide behind that. Like it's going to not make your weight or size be visible. We all know and see how other people look. It's what we do with it. Like I said, after the 2004 and beyond, I've had so many people tell me they love my confidence, the way I carry myself. And it's all because I had that wake-up call in 2004. Now, I'm not saying like the whole world changed for me miraculously. I still had a lot to work on and a long road to travel. Even when I met Michelle in 2006, she could tell that I, didn't quite think highly of myself as I should. She saw things in me that I didn't see in me. And she stayed on me and gave me her true thoughts and true feelings. And she was huge in, helping to make me the man I am now. And I'm not one of those proud men. I admit it. I had to put in a lot of work to help myself, but she helped me tremendously to see who Mitch was, what Mitch brought to the table. And I, in turn, helped her to see who she was, to, show her daily the strong woman she is and can be. And that size does not dictate who we are. And she said that's one of the things she's always appreciated about me, that I've never bothered her about her weight or eating or how she looked. To me, she was just always my beautiful wife. That's all I've ever seen. I don't care what size she is. She's always going to be my beautiful wife. And so that's, we try to instill that in our children's minds and hearts too. Like, one of the critical ways you're going to treat someone nice and respect them is by respecting everything about them. Weight and size, bullying or negativity will not come out of your mouth. That's what we taught our children. Respect others. Just like we all want to be respected. So I hope this episode has touched you in a positive way. Like I said, no matter if you think you are overweight, if you think you're underweight, you wish things could be different, be happy with you and who you are right now. Value yourself. Value your life that you have. Think about the positive things going on in your life and the positive influence you have on others' life. Sometimes we have to take the focus off of ourselves and bring positivity to other people's lives. So continue to push forward. I know this was a deep episode for some. It was for myself. Thinking back to some of the points in my life as I talked. So, we as humans, we're made in God's image. He made us to be strong, not cowards. We face things head on. We deal with them. We adapt, we adjust, and we keep pushing forward. So that's what I wish for you. I hope this was a wake-up call, even if it was a wake-up call just for one person. Just remember what I said. You are valuable. You're very worthy. Love yourself and respect yourself. When you do that, other people will follow suit and love and respect you as well. So if you have any comments or any thoughts or feedbacks, feel free to email me at mitch@themitchwright.com. You can also reach out to me on social media. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube under Love Is Your Medicine podcast. No matter how you're listening to me on rss.com or Apple Podcasts or Prime, iHeart, or however you're listening to me, I appreciate you. Please know that. And I am thrilled that the listeners are growing, not only in the United States, but Belgium, Germany, UK. I had someone listened to me in Ghana, in Africa. And I was so excited. My family was laughing because I was telling them, and someone was someone listening to me in Africa now. So wherever you are, thank you. I appreciate you. Know that I value you, and I just want the best for everyone. Be positive, stay motivated, do what you can to take care of yourself. Love is your medicine. Love and value and respect yourself and deem yourself worthy. You can do it. I know you can. I believe in you. So have a great day. Have a great week. Go and do great things.